I get the sense as I watch Caden Salter play that he doesn't really have a feel for the game. The first play of the game is like the 13th play of the game is the same as the 50th play of the game, right? So when you talk about situational football, down and distance, I don't get the sense that anything changes with this guy. He's not in make sure, go through my progressions, pre-snap progressions.
Right. Understand the situation.
Understand the situation.
That was a 14-point swing right there.
Man, it was
14-0.
Heartbreaking football game on all fronts, Al. And this is a team, and I know a lot of folks will listen to us and say, CJ, you're just being a homer. You are what your record says you are. Listen, they are 2-4 right now. But I'm telling you, this is a 4-2 team easy if, in fact, we just do the little things at the end of games, late in games. I'm not talking about, if you just catch the pass or something like that. But this is when they talk about football being a game of inches, we are 2-4 by and large because we didn't take care of the inches. And as a result, we're sitting here at in the basement of the Big 12 conference. Now, Coach,
and nobody wants to play the University of Colorado.
I'm telling you, it's
nobody wants to play the University of Colorado right now in the Big 12.
I totally agree, and I know we'll talk more about Iowa State later, but I just get the sense that this team is a conscious quarterback. I think the skill set is there. I think it's the neck up that's hurting Caden Salter.
Right.
A conscious quarterback who's in the moment away from being a contender for the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, man. I'll go a step further.
Coming at you live from Boulder's backyard, it's Buffs News Radio Show with your host, Russ. And near is your host, Russ.
What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live Radio Show. I am your host, Russ, and I appreciate you guys for joining me on this Wednesday. This is taking the place of the normal Monday show as I was out on vacation, but I am back now, ready to head into the weekend, ready to talk about the weekend that was and the TCU game. If you caught our post-game show Saturday night, I cut my vacation off for a moment to talk with you guys because I wanted to react to that game, get your guys' reactions, be able to talk about what happened. But I want to talk about, let's wrap up TCU today. We will get your guys' opinions as we will be opening up the Taco Bell hotline here in a little while so that you guys can get your voiced opinions out on what you think should happen to the Buffs moving forward, going into this weekend, going into the regular rest of the season, as the Buffs do now sit at 2-4, and the hopes of a Big 12 championship appearance pretty much dwindle away, as the Buffs could technically, honestly, be eliminated this weekend when it truly comes to whether or not they could make that game. But now the question becomes, what happens to the Buffs moving forward? And we have some other news and bits and pieces to talk about as well. But first off, I wanted to get your guys' opinions. That clip that I just played at the top of the show, of course, was CJ and Big Al, two Colorado Buffalo legends, okay? Ex-college football players, ex-NFL players, guys who have played at the top of the sport. I will always take their opinion above anybody else's when it comes to what they think about this team, what they're seeing with this team. They have that personal experience at the highest level, knowing exactly what they're looking at. And when they say comments like that, I am in full agreement, by the way. I do believe this is a much better team. When you look at how close we have been in some of these games and the plays that have caused the Buffs to be where they are only a player or two away from being in the conversation as one of the best teams in the Big 12, which is just so sad and frustrating as a Buffs fan. They were talking about Caden Salter, and I would agree with their evaluation and comments about Caden Salter. Their comments are literally that Caden Salter does not seem to adjust based on what's happening in the game. He's not really paying attention head-wise to what is needed in certain situations within the game, i.e. the sacks that he has taken at inopportune moments, trying to extend a play when he didn't have to. He didn't have to. If he just simply throws the ball away, if he simply takes what the defense is giving him with short yardage, or even taking some shots, especially in moments where they need the points and they need the yards, it just seems like his situational awareness is just not there. And that is coming from them. I would honestly agree with that assessment as I've gone back and looked at the TCU tape. Heck, even gone back and looked at prior tape of what we've had, including the Georgia Tech game and why we failed there as well. Would love to get your guys' opinions there as well. So, Vidama, agree on that. Yeah, Cam, CU ain't in crisis, UNC is. That was why my question is CU in crisis? Are we in a crisis mode right now? I don't think we're in it just yet, but some changes need to be made. Some changes need to be made. Welcome back in, Timothy. Appreciate you dropping by. CU's fine. All we can say, we can all say they could be a 5-1 team with an easy fix. Absolutely. Scott Forty, I hope the happiest place on earth treated your family well. It did. It did. It definitely helped that I was there for that TCU loss and got to completely ignore my troubles and sorries. If they are in a position not playing a bowl game, play Juju or Ponder. Yep, once that happens, that's probably where I'm at too. Guessing 3-9 for the year. Based on what I'm seeing from the other Big 12 teams and based on what I'm seeing from Colorado and how close we are, I would say I don't think we're there yet. I'm not crowning it a 3-9 team yet, guys. We are literally 10 points away from being tied for first in the Big 12. 10 points. 10 points. Just saying, throwing that out there. I think that's a little bit, yeah, definitely don't. CU is actually a good team. They get consistent quarterback play. They would be fine. Yep. Tell me one thing we do better than other teams in the Big 12. We don't have to be better in every section of the game. As a joint thing, I'll tell you what we do better. We're the best pass blocking team in the Big 12. We are the best pass blocking team in the Big 12, and that is a statistical fact. So there. I gave you one thing that we do better than other teams in the Big 12. That's what we do better. We are allowing our quarterback nearly 4 seconds of time in the pocket. Yeah. They have 4 games to teams that are combined 18-2. Just can't beat the good teams. Couldn't beat good teams last year either. Couldn't finish, Kevin. Couldn't finish. That's my problem. And that does lead to whether or not you win or lose. But overall, they're competing with these teams. They are sticking in the games. It is very close. And this is something that we're going to be talking about all week, TJ, because I don't think it's going to happen, just FYI, based on everything we've seen. Now, the question is whether or not that's the right choice. I did say all along the last couple of weeks what I think is truly going to happen is I think that this is Caden Salter's last chance. I think that this is Caden Salter's last chance to show that he can learn and be a better player than what he has been at times this season. He needs to show that he can truly step up, and Iowa State is going to be that game. If that doesn't happen, then yes, you have to change because you're having a bye week. You're having a bye week to figure things out coming up. I still would have thought that Iowa State would have been probably the best team to play that against because based on what I'm seeing, Iowa State does not have a pass rush. Okay? They are one of the worst pass rushing teams in the Big 12. Colorado has one of the best pass blocking teams in the Big 12. Gives Juju a chance to go in there and throw the ball around the yard and not have a ton of pressure on him. However, it looks like we're going to see Caden Salter with everything that's been going on. So Caden Salter should have a good passing game if he is the quarterback that everybody says he is. CU has outplayed the ranked teams. Yep, they absolutely have. I don't think we'll be in crisis unless we lose more games like Houston. Exactly. That is the point I wanted to bring to this statement, Smith. I appreciate you saying that. They definitely should put in Lewis now. It's only going to work out in their favor. It's like DJ last year when he showed upside and potential for what Florida could be, and Florida was able to get a ton of recruits as a result. That's where Colorado needs to get. Yes. Recruits were committing and flipping to Colorado once they seen what Lagway could do. CU has outplayed TCU and BYU and Georgia Tech. If the quarterback play was consistent, CU wins those games. And I agree. I agree 100%. Shiny King, appreciate you dropping by. Been a while. Appreciate you coming by. And that's where it's at. CU struggles with Power 4 teams. We struggle, huh? We're losing by 3 to 7 points and we struggle. You act like we're getting blown out each and every game. That's kind of crazy. I think we make a bowl worst case scenario. We do what Kansas did last year. Great. And put ourselves in position to make a bowl blow it in the Kansas State game. Could see that. Everybody smash that like. Appreciate you, Shiny King. Appreciate as always. Yes, please get those likes up, guys, as we get more viewers in. We're only at 60 viewers right now. The more likes, the more it gets pushed out. So I appreciate you guys. Just like it. Even if you don't like the topic. Even if you're somebody who is crapping on CU the whole stream. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's the minimum you could do. I give you guys all a voice. Whoever wants to can have a voice on my streams. I don't mute you. I don't ban you. You know that it takes a lot to ban somebody, and I don't do that. So there's that as well. Except for the last game, we could stop the run. 90 yards rushing. 94 yards rushing last game. Just FYI, which is why I also said the defense was not to blame for that loss to TCU. They did what they needed to do. They did what somebody told us was not possible. So we did stop the run. So there you go. I agree upon reflection of every game. It was there to win if the quarterback had his head on straight, and that includes Houston. Yeah, I mean, if Staub could figure his stuff out and actually play, we could have been in much more contention than that one. Feel bad for this team. I feel bad for some of the players on this. I was at the TCU game. Pain. I know. We were so close, CB. The start to that game, I could have only imagined what that would have been like if we pull that off and if we could continue with the start of that game and not do anything else that we have. Yeah, exactly. Houston's the one game that we didn't compete. We did not compete one bit. Anybody else want to say that we aren't competing with good teams, has not been watching, or they are just completely ignorant to what's happening in those games? Mike, very good point. Iowa did get beat by the Iowa Cyclones, the Iowa State Cyclones. I get that, but I've been watching Iowa State. They have been they're not showing the same consistency that we are as well. Like similar problems to that. However, Mike, you also got to realize, and you should know this as a Nebraska fan, Iowa has a problem with their offense. They have never had a good offense when it comes to Iowa football. They are always a defensive first team. And I will say this, that Iowa State's defense is also somewhat suspect. Like I said, they have one of the worst graded out pass rushes in all of college football, not just the Big 12. So there is a little bit of susceptibility to what we could potentially do there. So, but again, what's going to happen with Caden Salter? Is he good enough? Good enough, guys. Keyword, good enough to take advantage of that. What's good, Northside? Appreciate you dropping by, as always. Up to 75 viewers. Appreciate you guys. So what if Iowa State lost to Iowa? Iowa State is trash. They're boring. K. Salter, straight garbage can. Do you think CU gets out to another 14-0 lead? Cam, who knows? That seems to be our one consistent factor. Okay, TCU is not a running team, but I was just told that we couldn't stop the run. So, again, you guys just goalposts right now with anything I say. Goalposts with anything I say. The defense is not doing what a normal defense did. They're doing enough to let us win. The TCU game was exactly that. Coach Stefanski, I'm getting fired this Sunday, huh? I love it. I love the account. I love the account. Correct. TCU does suck at running the ball. But I'm just saying, somebody just said that we can't stop the run. We finally did stop the run, i.e. against a team that sucks at running the ball. It would have been really sad if TCU ran all over us when they couldn't run the ball. That would have been sad. Kevin knows what's going on. Iowa State secondary is actually good. Yes, I would agree with that. Iowa State secondary is good, but your secondary is only as good as your pass rush. If the quarterback has all the time in the world, I don't care if you've got the greatest corners lining up back there. Ask any cornerback. Ask Aqib Talib. You know, when the no-fly zone was the no-fly zone for the Denver Broncos in the 2015 season with one of the greatest defensive backfields in football history, they attributed that to the fact that they also had a really good pass rush. A really good pass rush. So I agree. Skill-wise, Iowa State secondary, very good. Problem is going to be that pass rush and whether or not they can get to the quarterback or if Caden Salter's going to have all day. Or if Caden Salter is going to run out of a clean pocket and help them and cut the field in half. That makes it easy on the secondary if they know where they're going to go with that. What are your thoughts on the wide receiver play so far the season? Jodo's only one consistently blocking, running hard routes. Statesman, I would agree with that. The receivers have been piss poor in a lot of ways. Obviously catching the ball, way too many drops in situations that they need to catch the ball. They're not getting open, especially when the scrambling starts occurring. So I will give them that too. I will give them that part. But, Caden Salter doesn't need to be scrambling every play. So there's that side to it too. But I would agree that the receivers aren't as good as they could be. However, there are plays that are being missed by the quarterbacks that would probably make the receivers that much better. There's a lot of things. But yes, their blocking has been absolutely atrocious. Across the board, absolutely atrocious. And a lot of that has to do with mentality. And I don't like what I'm seeing when it comes to that. You can't play 3-3-5 with bums in the secondary. Yeah. You can't. That's for sure. TCU's not. Yes, I know that. They do not have a run offense, but we still stopped them. So their point is still invalid because we did at least do that. Now, if you had said we're terrible against the run except for the TCU game, I would have said absolutely. That's factual. But the fact is that we did stop TCU from running. It would have been very sad if we let TCU run all over us. And Statement just provides this. They lost both their top corners to injury. So I'm very interested to see tonight, by the way, what the injury report is. We should get it sometime tonight, hopefully before we go off the air with Buff Blitz, which, by the way, will be at 7 p.m. tonight. Juju on the field this season would be good for recruiting. Yes, Joseph, I agree for that. Yeah, it was a mud stomp by the quarterback run game, and we still only lost by 7. So what does that say? God, some people. You guys don't pay attention. Start beating Iowa always goes again this season. My bad. Salter's not trashy in the wrong system. I could see that north side. I could give that. Because our system is for a pocket quarterback. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. Our system is for a pocket quarterback. I think that's what the truth is. Our system is for a pocket-based quarterback. Salter's not that. Him running out every time, not staying in clean pockets, that is a big part of the problem that is coming. Colorado definitely stopped the run against TCU. Even if they suck, we did. That's just a straight fact. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Dorsey killed Iowa State. I'm telling you, Iowa State is susceptible. They're not as good as I think I thought at the beginning of the season that I was worried about. This was one of the games that I was like circled. I thought Iowa State's going to easily win the Big 12. Based on what I'm seeing so far, they are not the best Big 12 team. They definitely have some issues that we could exploit. Now, the question is, will this coaching staff, will these players be able to go against that? I don't know yet. Did you see Seton well off? Was taking major ish to BDS to 67. I love when Seton does that. Mike, I agree. I think it will be a good game overall. I really do. Top 10 in pass blocking in the nation. Backs are averaging 5+ yards a rush a game and still have great receivers. We have to deliver at the quarterback position. Skull Buffs. I love it. Kevin, you are right. Top 2 Iowa State DBs have ACL injuries. So that's going to be interesting. The Cincy quarterback destroyed Iowa State. There's a lot. I'm telling you guys, Iowa State is not this unbelievable team. Okay. Do we have a chance to beat them? Absolutely. Absolutely, we do. Omarion's route running is awful. Not a coincidence. All Salter's INTs have been targets to him. Kevin, I don't think it's great, but I also am not going to put it on Omarion for what Salter did. The interception in the goal line, that's the same play they scored a touchdown to Omarion. The play was open. The anticipatory throw was not there from Caden. Which, by the way, is probably Caden's biggest fault. And again, it goes back to the comment that was made that maybe Caden Salter's not in the right system. Caden Salter is not a timing quarterback, which is really bad, by the way, okay? He is a true dual threat that is probably a better runner than he is a passer at this point. We're starting to realize that more and more. And the real reason he's a better runner than he is a passer is not because he doesn't have an arm, okay? Mind you, he has a cannon for an arm. It is that the anticipation's not there and the reading of the defenses is just not there. Whether that is coaching. We can absolutely blame it on coaching as well, whether that is just knowledge of the system, whether that's, watching tape, whether that's communicating with your receivers. There are so many things that we can speculate on. All we can do is what we see with our eyes. And like, for instance, the interception on the goal line, I mean, he has it there. He delays that throw by a half a second too late. And that half a second is the difference between a touchdown on the goal line and an interception on the goal line. And that is exactly, by the way, what in my clip at the beginning of the episode with CJ and Big Al, they're talking about, the swing that occurred at the end of the half when CU could have taken a 21 point, could have gotten up to 21 points if they complete that touchdown there. The timing was just off by a hair. And so the question is Caden Salter a timing quarterback? Is he an accurate read the defense quarterback? If he's not, why are we not adjusting the game plan to his strengths? That's where I do believe that coaching is failing at this point, and why I do believe that the current coaching staff is not going to continue on with this team. I do really appreciate that. I really, really do feel that way. I'm going to jump ahead to comments. Remember, guys, we have a lot of comments coming through. You guys are talking a lot today. I absolutely love it. I will do my best to get to as many comments as possible. If you absolutely want your comment read, that is where super chats come in. And doing that, I always read the super chats multiple times. So if you truly want your stuff read out, that is what's going to happen there. Shiny, absolutely right. I am absolutely floored, by the way, that Coach Prime, and here's the next little subject matter that I want to chat about before we get into the hotline and all that here in about 10 minutes. Between Coach Prime and what he was able to do, okay, had blood clots, had surgery, and literally less than 16 hours after having surgery on his leg to remove blood clots, Coach Prime was back at practice for CU. Back at practice for CU. Coaching. Now, we look at what just occurred and what's happening right this moment, by the way, for those of you who are uninitiated to the Twitter sphere, what is happening right now with the University of North Carolina and Bill Belichick. The University of North Carolina and Bill Belichick is exactly what people thought Coach Prime was going to be to college football. The biggest difference, and again, this goes back to the people who were calling for Coach Prime's head on the stream on Saturday night, who are still calling for it online. Coach Prime is not getting fired anytime soon. I literally had to get in an argument with somebody because they kept saying how, Coach Prime could get fired. Coach Prime could get fired. Just comment after comment to comment about it. And I said, one, Coach Prime's not getting fired because he's not getting fired. That's just common knowledge. Two, he also has one of the biggest buyouts, which, by the way, we found out today. We found out today what his buyout is, everybody. Coach Prime's buyout is $33 million. So to everybody out there thinking Coach Prime is going to another program in college football or that the team is firing him, need to just look at the buyout clause in his contract and realize it is too expensive to do either of those things. Okay? If a team wants to snatch Coach Prime up and pay us $33 million to buy him out to get him to go coach their team, that $33 million is going to help fund a heck of a team for Colorado, okay? So, one, that's not happening. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have unlimited funds. Any of the teams out there with unlimited funds are not going to pay that for Coach Prime. They're going to pay that for like Nick Saban or somebody crazy to come into their program if they really wanted to do that on coaches. But they're using that money right now to pay for players. So, there's that, guys. Sure, fine, let him. I'm just saying the SEC isn't going to want him based on performance and that buyout, okay? I just think I'm taking crazy pills because half the time you guys are commenting in here how terrible CU is and how terrible Coach Prime is of a coach, and then the next breath you guys are saying there's an SEC team out there that wants to pay $33 million for him, okay? Mike gets it. Mike, as a Nebraska fan, gets it and understands it, okay? That is just hilarious. Like, I never got that when people are like, oh, Coach Prime, this. And then in the same sentence, like, I hear them say what a terrible coach he is. Like, you guys just, at that point, you're just trolling Colorado and Coach Prime. Like, you have no actual, like, rhyme or reason. But just so you know, I wanted to go back to the UNC stuff. Here's what's happening. If you are not inundated with college football, here's what happens, okay? Ollie Conley over on Twitter is reporting all this. He is a beat reporter right now for College Football Scout, recruiting analyst. Here is what information he has. Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina officially. Belichick has signaled he is now willing to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or in the media, meaning he's going to pay his own buyout to get out of UNC at this point. Members of Belichick's coaching staff have already spoken to other schools that are expected to potentially be in the CFB playoff about taking on roles during the postseason from one coach on the staff, and I quote, "The rats are leaving the ship." Some staffers believe a change will be happening within the next 2 weeks. Reports of extreme serious recruiting violations remain under investigation by the school currently, including the one that just occurred. Recruiting and practice violations have already been proven by the school and have not come out of to the public just yet. So we're talking about a lot of things that are coming down on UNC right now, according to multiple sources. Using recruit violations to knock down a coach's buyout has become a standard practice by schools. So it sounds like UNC is looking to fire Belichick, and they're all now negotiating a way to mutually leave. So it's not a stain, but it is. Belichick cannot find a landing spot to trigger his own buyout. He's expected to accept a greatly reduced compromised rate with the university. Belichick's communication with his staff in the past week, by the way, has been described as weird and distant by multiple members of the coaching staff. Multiple coaches have been unable to contact Coach Belichick during UNC's bye week. From one UNC defensive assistant, "What we've done to these kids is absolutely effed up." Okay? This is happening at UNC, by the way. Okay? This is happening at UNC. Coach Prime cares about these kids and their futures. Okay? Coach Prime cares about his coaching staff, which is why Coach Prime is pushing through all this. He's doing the best he can. He's doing all this stuff. He truly does care about them, no matter what anybody says. Everybody in the comments can say whatever they want. But again, I will just absolutely attain you to be a troll if you want to say that he doesn't care about his players or if he doesn't care about his coaches. He will do whatever it takes, i.e. look at what he did this offseason for, of course, everybody's favorite running back who had to retire due to concussions. What he was able to do for him, one, he's kept him a part of this program. He kept him on scholarship, even though you don't have to, by the way. That is not a requirement. Scholarships are a 1-year agreement. On top of that, he has been working to get him into dental school. So there's that as well. So, you know, guys, when we look at the two things, again, things could be a lot worse at CU. The future is still bright at CU. The best players right now on this roster are the young players. All of the freshmen and sophomore players on this team that are going to compromise CU going forward are all the best players that are playing consistent football right now. Coach Barry, I appreciate you as always. I'm pushing for Juju to play now, get some reps against ISU. Screw waiting till after the bye week. Coach Barry, I would agree with that. I'm all in for Juju this weekend. Looking like that's not happening. Although, a couple things I want to point out with that, Coach Barry, I do appreciate, again, that comment. Two things. One, the video clip that is out there of Coach Prime talking up Julian Lewis during the game last week tells me that, again, they're starting to test the waters with him. With what's happening with Caden Salter, I guarantee that behind the scenes, they are prepping Julian Lewis to take over this team at some point. They perhaps do not feel like maybe behind the scenes he's just ready enough, but I could easily see if we struggle or have issues again this week against ISU, Julian Lewis could jump in that game at any point, and we could see that moving forward. But I agree. I would love to have seen it this week. Thought it would have been a great matchup, especially with Utah coming up in the schedule. I do not think that's going to be a good matchup on the road, especially if that's Julian Lewis's first game. That is setting him up for failure, and that is a bad idea. So there is that as well. But I appreciate it. Coach Barry as always. Okay, Coach Barry as always. K dot. I think with our play calling history, if we sent Juju in, it'll kill his confidence. Here's the thing. I think Juju could make something out of nothing, K dot. Because the key is, again, you're gonna have protection. That has been my biggest worry of putting Julian Lewis in, and why going into the season it was Caden Salter's team, is I did not think Julian Lewis was ready to go in, especially with our offensive line as we knew it. Did we realize that this offensive line was going to be one of the best pass blocking groups in the entire Power 4 football? No, we did not. And that is why, again, I do believe that he could survive in this and figure things out. Plus, the fact is, and the difference is, K-Dot, coaching aside, you saw what happened when Staub went in there and audibled and did what he needed to do. If you can figure out the offense well enough and you can make those plays and you can read defenses, which, by the way, Julian Lewis is very good at reading defenses. That is one of the problems that I have with Caden Salter right now. It does not seem like he reads the defenses very well. He just goes through the script of reads that he has and kind of goes on script. He is not a great off-script quarterback when it comes to, understanding what he's got. When he's got one-on-one matchups, when he's got, sides of the field that are, leveraged to one specific set of receivers, whatever that may be. There's a lot of things that I don't know if it's how he's being coached up. I don't know if it's just who he is as a player. Again, those are all just speculations. North Carolina have some players I want on CU. Oh, absolutely, guys. And we also can't forget that one of CU's top 2026 recruits did commit to UNC. Okay. So I would be on the lookout for that, because it did come down to Colorado and UNC when it came to CJ Sadler, the 2026 four-star athlete, who is, again, having a great high school season, but he committed to UNC, and his decision was between Colorado and UNC. So that's rough. Keith, yes. 16 surgeries, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Okay? Big time. Kevin, teams are going to play CU different without Salter. They contain, rush him. Part of the reason the line looks so good, that will change with Juju. The line will start to struggle again. I don't know about that, Kevin. I don't know about that. Because they contain, rush him, yet Caden gets out of the pocket. Like, Caden's negative aspect is the fact that he gets out of the pocket too much. If I were teams, I wouldn't try and contain him in the pocket. I would try and allow him to run out. And the problem is that he can step up and take off running up the middle, but there's a lot of things there. Yeah, see, this is what I'm meaning, K-Dot. Caden Salter has a strong arm, but I don't remember seeing any deep concepts. I could be wrong, though. There has been some deep concepts there, and they have been open, by the way, K-Dot. There has been some posts that he's missed. There has been some different things that, there has been some things there. Okay. But I will agree, by the way, that Pat is not a good play caller, and Pat's gone after this year, guys. Pat is, see, and Northside gets it. Salter is not a pocket passer, and we're treating him like a pocket passer. Okay. There's that. And Russell, I agree. If Juju balls out, CU will at least end the season on a positive uptick going into next season, and it will continue, because the reason why the recruits are coming right now, and the reason why they're sticking with CU even with the bad season, is because they see the future. Okay, I'm telling you guys, they see what's happening right now, and they see that the players who are balling out on this team, the players who are keeping Colorado competitive. Yes, I said competitive because we're in every game. We're not getting blown out. For anybody that wants to troll and say that CU is just absolutely dog water and getting ran up, Houston is the only game we weren't in this season. Okay? We're literally at the end of the game on the last drive with a chance to win or tie the game at that point. Okay? So there's that. So that's what's up. I don't think that would have helped Shermer. DC, I understand that to an extent. I really do. And I hope that Livingston gets to add a couple of his guys this year. But the thing I need to remind you guys of, Pat Shurmur, his contract is up. I guarantee you that right now what's happening, K-Dot, I'm telling you why I think that Pat is leaving. Pat Shurmur's contract is up. So rather than fire him, they can let him just go on his business. They can say it was mutual, or they can even say that maybe Pat's retiring or wanting to take it easy with his family. There's so many things that you could do with that. And that's why I don't think we're getting an in-season announcement that Shurmur is fired. At best, they give the play calling duties off, or they start giving them off. I mean, a lot of people talked about it, that Bartolone might be doing a little bit more with the play calling. That is absolutely could be correct, but that's why it's so quiet. And this is my point, Keith. Why is this not the top story on ESPN? Why is this not being discussed by every talking head at ESPN? There's one reason and one reason alone, Keith, and I'll let you finish it for me since I don't really have the ability or the privilege to say why it's happening. But absolutely. Okay. Oh, yeah. CU's offense is very predictable. I can give you that, too. I will agree on that. That's not trolling. That's a fact. And I think everybody in this comment chat would agree that our offense is very predictable. Salter and Gus Malzahn offense would do numbers, or Sean Lewis's offense. I could see that. I could see that doing that a little better. Pat's a terrible OC. Have yet to see any nice trick plays, nice option screens, mixing things up. I just don't see it from him. I would agree on that. Coach Barry, it is very vanilla. Now, the question is, I think a lot of that to do is with Pat, but you also have to wonder maybe a little bit that to do is with Salter. I don't know what's going on. Brett as OC right now, I don't know. That was just rumors that people brought up, but we have not got anything confirmed. Okay. And I'm not starting anything. I'm not saying that at all. So there's that. Whatever happened to the defensive coach, Sal? Coach Sal, I think it was health issues that he left the team, but I can't remember if he went anywhere else. We know. Pat should not leave CU. Low key, he our best recruiter. Prove me wrong. Have an eye for talent. I mean, he's there. Maybe. I'll start the rumor. They want Bill to come to ESPN. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's a lot of teams positioning themselves to bring him on in like some kind of analyst role, but there's that. Okay. So yeah. So that's where we're at, guys. That's what's going on right now. That's the news and the summary from me as far as TCU, what's happening. I would prefer at this point to move on just because there's not much to play for this season. Even if you go undefeated at this point, the chances of you making the Big 12 are very slim. You still have a chance at a bowl game. Yes. Once we hit that, those 7 losses, I think it should be done. But, I have not listened to that. I'm not bringing that up. That's for sure. I do want to get a good OC, though. I do want to get an OC. He has CU 5. Yeah, Coach Barry, I'll briefly bring this up because I said I didn't want to use this for clicks. I'm not doing a video on this guy. Guys, he's a 2027 quarterback that is committing on November 1st. 2 things. One, it's not going to be CU that he commits to on November 1st because I guarantee you he's committing this early for money. Okay? Julian Lewis committed early to USC because USC pays money out for early commits. That's kind of been proven for the most part. 2027 committing now is completely pointless and absolutely just for clicks and for clout. It is in no way. Oh, and I'm sure that the Texas Tech, I believe they're in his finals, right? They're in his final teams, is going to pay him to commit early. Whether or not he stays committed to them is one thing, but it's hilarious seeing this. Guys, don't get your hopes up, okay? Do not get your hopes up when it comes to this guy. I would be more hopeful with a potential CU at him if he was waiting until, close to signing day, i.e. like Juju. But the fact that he is committing November 1st tells me he's going to Tech and he's getting paid money to commit. He's getting a big paycheck just to say that he is committed to Texas Tech. The teams that are doing this, by the way, are absolute idiots. See, you get it. The fact that you're committing without any official visits yet this early is just stupid. Don't pay attention to that. Don't give those people clout. Don't give them any attention at all, guys. And the fact that he is using us in the name of the finals, like, I think he's doing that for the clout that CU fans bring to a player when they're doing that, the eyeballs that it brings, and then he's going to commit this early. I'm telling you, he's not committing to Colorado. Even if he committed to Colorado, which he's not, by the way, again, I will say it, he's going to flip at some point. I guarantee he flips. He is not staying committed for nearly 2 years. He is not. Okay. Pat brought Salter and had a similar offense, wasting talent, money, new OC, please. TMFB, I would agree with that. Okay, guys, it is that time. Go ahead. We are going to open up the Taco Bell hotline. By the way, if you are one of our fan takes of the week through the hotline, you can win yourself a Taco Bell player t-shirt. We have had several people in the chat win one of those shirts, including, of course, Buddy, who is now in the chat. Welcome in, Buddy. We don't want him, Kavion Bryant. He probably will. He'll probably flip 2 or 3 times. I mean, we're seeing it right now. Look at what happens in the landscape of college football. You're likely correct. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean, you're not committing 2 years in advance to stay committed. That's not how college football works anymore. It's not. We could have had the Cal quarterback at CU. We're going to get the running back from Oklahoma State because of Pat and Ward. Yeah, we almost did get the Cal quarterback. I still think about that. That he was and technically, guys, the Cal quarterback was our backup to Juju. Like, if we didn't get Juju, we were going hard after him, and we would have had him. And the question is, would he have played like he is right now? I don't know. I'm hoping that Juju is, trust me, the talent's there. It's coming. It's really coming. Using CU, make other teams give more money. Don't trust the earlier commits. Time to live, right? If you're not gonna stay committed for 2 years. Look at Colorado. Any of the guys that have committed super early, and I mean not within a couple months of signing day. That's a little different. We've been pretty good at keeping those. It's the guys that commit super early. Your Talon Chandler. Your who's the other kid? Winston Watkins. Do we dare go back to Winston Watkins and what he did? Way back when, by the way, Winston Watkins 2 years ago, what is he doing right now? He's at Ole Miss. Is he doing anything, by the way, at Ole Miss? Is he doing anything at Ole Miss right now? Let me see. Ole Miss. 6 catches for 84 yards, 14-yard average. So he is playing a little bit as a freshman. That's good. You know who's not playing, by the way, guys, that got brought up today? Do you know who's not playing, guys? Which we thought was going to happen. Nathaniel Boateng. He is not playing right now. We knew that was going to happen. I guarantee you, if Boateng had came to CU, he would be starting linebacker right now. He would be the starting linebacker right now on this team. And the guy chose a different place to go, and he's not playing at all, sitting on the bench. And who knows what happens not having a year to be a part of that. He's on a team, yes, but if you don't play, you don't have a chance to show if you're good enough. It's all there. Oh, I get it. They do produce linebackers, but if you don't get to play because the team is too deep and you never get your shot, and maybe you're not a good practice player, maybe you just don't ever get your shot. That does happen, guys. There is literal proof that has happened in football world, where a player is pretty good and is not able to show what they're able to do. Okay? Oh, I know he's a freshman at Michigan. My point is that he could already be playing. And if he wanted to transfer to Michigan because he looked really good and he hated here, sure he could. But the fact is he still won't have tape. So he better hope that he's in the future plans and things are going well there, is my point. Because a year of no tape is still going to hurt you overall. Just saying. There's plenty of guys out there that never got the true chance and then went and balled at higher levels. It happens every day. There are literally walk-ons and guys that find their way to the next level somehow because a coach didn't give them a chance. I'm just saying, the point is he would have been a starter on this team. He absolutely would have been a starter. CFB committee should be put a limit on decommitting high schoolers. One time, it's what I've been harping for every moment that I possibly can. It's the fact that NCAA we need to create contracts, guys. We just need to get to contracts now. The players are pros at this point. Give them contracts with buyout clauses so that if they want to decommit or transfer or do anything like that, the team that takes them has to pay the school that's losing them. That's the one way you're going to get everybody to be able to compete. You're going to be able to make college football better. You're going to be able to have people actually commit to teams and stay with them so fans can actually enjoy the sport a little bit more when it comes to players being fully committed to their schools. That's absolutely it. Yeah. There's plenty of times where that has had to happen. Okay, we got our first phone call. Let's go ahead and pull them in. It is a plenty time caller. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
This is Kai Russ from Cali. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, man, look. The game this past week. Well, I'm going to talk about the game that's coming up. Iowa State. I think this is the best team that we're going to face this year. It's going to say a lot.
Okay.
What happens at the conclusion of this game. If we can clean up these little small errors, man, like it's like 2 or 3 plays away from actually winning the game. And it's been the problem to close. I don't know how you fix that with a team that's lacking leadership. The linebacker defense played well enough for us to win last week, and these lulls in the offense is just got to stop. I mean, it's like you score 14 points and you can't do nothing but manage 7 points thereafter, after about 6, 7, or 8 possessions. And we can also, it's easy to point the finger at the quarterback, especially after throwing 3 picks in the first half. But the fact is, we still need to put ourselves in better situations, knowing what we got. And then that punt mishap was just unacceptable.
Yep.
Especially at being the 5th game of the season. So I don't know. What you think?
It's going to be a tough game either way. I don't know if it's our toughest game yet. I think matchup wise, we have some things that we can exploit from ISU. I mean, they're a good team, but I think we also can match up well in some places, and especially with their secondary being so injured right now. I hope that spells good things for this team. But I definitely agree as far as the assessment goes against the TCU. I mean, four turnovers and you lose. I mean, we'll say it. The last touchdown of the game that made it a 14-point loss. The game was over at that point. Like it didn't matter whether they scored there or they didn't score there. Yeah. And so I have a lot of people that's been throwing the 14-point loss as we got completely curb stomped by TCU when they weren't actually watching the game and realizing that. We were in that game at the very end and should have been in that game to win it. But I would agree. I think part of that, though, the problem is, and it does happen. We have a freshman back there returning punts, and as explosive as he is, and there are plenty of, historically, players who are those explosive returners, they're kind of boom or bust. They kind of have some issues every now and then. You kind of got to live with that if you're fine with living with the capability of them potentially taking one back, because you could put somebody back there that's just sure-footed at fair catching it every time, and that's all that they're there for. I think what Gibson saw and what he's seen the last couple of games is, our offense is terrible. I need to do something. I'm going to try and make a play, or I'm going to try and do this, and not really understanding that position just yet. So, I can we can fault him for it. We can also not. It's a terrible turnover either way. It's going to be interesting this week. I think overall what's going to happen is I think Salter's getting another shot. I think this is his last chance. I think Coach Prime's going to give him his last chance. And, that's where it's going to be at. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, it's like this though. That the punt return thing was it should have been a Peter call. So, and then you tell the guy out there that look, we're playing for possession.
Yeah.
So he should have came up and fielded.
Correct. And they talked to him about that. Yeah, they talked to him about that, and they said it was a mistake on his part. He didn't understand that he needs to come up and catch that no matter what when it's short like that and fair catch it. And they talked about that after the game for sure.
Yeah, and then I don't know. So you think this is Salter's last shot at it?
I mean, he needs to show something. If it's the same Salter that we saw last week, and he puts up 2 interceptions and makes some bad plays in because the big thing is crunch time. He has not been very clutch for this team all season long. Okay, has he shown moments where he has been very good? Yes. When it's in clutch, when the team needs him to come through, that's where he has had his issues the most. And that is something that we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see if he can actually, because look, he has looked good early in games. I mean, we've had 2 14-0 leads, and he has looked excellent. And then he starts struggling and having issues, and it could very well be the play calling that's partially to blame. I'll absolutely say that. But then, with 2 minutes left in the game, he has some issues there.
Yeah, his feet. He get happy feet. He don't stick his foot down, or he don't step up in the pocket. He's caused a lot of those issues where it comes to pressure by running out of the pocket instead of stepping up. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is with him. Just you're right. You can see it. The nervousness gets into him when, like what you said, either the 2 minutes or when you need a score or something like that. He seems to panic. I don't want to know if we saw that in his when he was at Liberty. I didn't watch him that closely, but it had to be there. You know what I mean? To see that.
What we saw at Liberty and what a lot of people have talked about is the fact that this offense is not built for him. He was never a pocket passer that would have 4 to 5 seconds in the pocket. So I think that's part of his problem is, it was very much, when he played at Liberty, 1-2 read, go, like run. And he's doing that now, even though he doesn't need to. And so they're not really setting him up with plays or concepts that kind of play to those strengths. So it is on both sides. It is a little bit of the play calling. It is Salter not adjusting his game based on the fact that, I don't need to panic. I don't need to run. Like, I am fine. Stay in the pocket, be accurate, find my receivers. They're getting open at times. It may take a little bit, but there's that. So, yeah, that's the hard part is I think, unfortunately, we picked the wrong quarterback.
Yeah, do we have a quarterback coach? Because it seems like his fundamentals is off, especially when he needs to layer throws. It's like he throws more sidearm type of thing instead of getting the ball on the shelf and releasing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that. I mean, we probably do need to hire a full-time quarterback coach and have somebody here all the time. That's definitely probably something that Prime needs to kind of figure out and actually assess and do. We do not have a true quarterback coach.
Yeah, because Sherman's not a quarterback coach. He's a line coach.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, hopefully we correct some of these problems and clear up these mistakes and get far less penalties too, because these third down penalties is killing us. What's his guy? Hodge. What's his name?
Preston Hodge with the pass interferences.
He should know automatically they're going at him on third and whatever or fourth. He should know that they're coming at him.
Yeah.
Because that's been the game plan. Everybody's game plan is to attack him, and because his pro rating has got to drop through the basement by now.
Yep. No, I would agree with that.
PI calls.
Yep. I would. Well, I appreciate the call this week. We'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
Thank you. Okay, feel free again. You guys want to call in, give your opinions on the TCU game, on the season, what's happening right now. Feel free to do it. You guys are getting it right now in the chat. I mean, it is his weakness. He does throw a great deep ball, but for whatever reason, he's just not throwing them very often this year. And I don't know if that's just visually he's not seeing it. Again, maybe it comes back to reading the defense and not letting it fly in those situations. But I mean, that was one thing I would always give. You can always give Shador. And he had the guys to do it true. I mean, he trusted his guys to just throw it up there for him. But the timing, the anticipation from Shador on his deep throws or why those worked. They're there, guys. If you watch the tape, they are there for Salter to make those throws, but his anticipation is just not there. His anticipation is just not there. Coach Barry, forgot this. $10 super chat. Appreciate you so much, as always. We got to get Welch into Shadowbox and buy him some hand grips to treat them like his girlfriend. Take him everywhere he go and squeeze them all the time. Stop all that fumbling, loose ball handling. I mean, he's gotten lucky. I'm hoping that he's working on that this week, Coach Barry, because he's scaring me to death right now. We're very close to to Micah having some fumbling issues. But there you go. I would agree with that. I mean, overall, we are better. Salter didn't have enough time to learn and change his throwing bad habits because that would take a senior at least 5 to 8 months to learn it all. That's true. Prime has handled this quarterback situation all time. Horrendous this whole season. And I think that's where Prime is still learning, guys. I don't care what you say. He's still a young coach. I know it's crazy. He's still learning how to handle these situations for the first time. I mean, think about it. His whole coaching career, he had Shador in the starter spot. Yes, he was his son and all that, but you can't not say that Shador did not have skill and talent. Having an actual quarterback decision to make, having an actual quarterback controversy going on and how to handle it, he's learning on the fly when it comes to this. That's absolutely 100% there. Preston Miller, McKinney need to come back another year. I have a feeling they probably will. I have a feeling all of them will probably come back another year. Well, Preston can't, by the way. Preston can't. Preston got a special exemption to come back for 1 year. That's it for Preston. But outside of that, that's where we're at. Okay. Juju seemed very panicky against Delaware. He'll grow out of it. Don't put the kid in against Iowa State or Iowa. I didn't think he was panicky. I think he was just decisive and he was doing things. He only got 2 drives that went 3 and out on both of them, including the one that he looked good on for a second. He had a good throw. The running game didn't work well against Delaware when he was in, which stopped him from getting any other chances. So there is that. So, that's where it's at. Prime still learning excuse doesn't cut it when you're making 10 million a year. We ride with Prime till the wheels fall off, though. Oh, I get it. He has expectations to live up to, but it's not like he's not providing something for the university, guys. This is not a case of a Bill Belichick who's making all this money and just completely destroying the program. CU is still relevant when it comes to college football. CU got a ton of money to go to the Big 12 because of Coach Prime. CU has tons of endorsements flowing in and money to the city flowing in and all this stuff. Like, as bad as this sounds, football aside, Coach Prime is doing what he needs to do. Okay, we had another phone call. Let's take it right now. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ. It's Pat. It's calling from Arlington, Texas.
Hey, how's it going? How are you doing today?
We're great. I'm blessed. Happy Coach made it to a surgery back at practice.
Well, what was that? Repeat that again.
I said I'm happy Coach made it out of surgery and back at practice.
Yeah, it's crazy that he's already back at practice. Crazy that he's back at practice. It shows his dedication and it shows how much he does care about this football program.
No, he's setting the example for it. That's what he's really doing. He's setting the example for the board.
Yeah, no, for sure. He really does. Well, what are your thoughts on TCU and what the team needs to do going forward?
Man, we're such a good team. It's just bad timing. Pass Sherman a little bit with the 8 seconds left in the second half. The first half. I wish we had quarterback draw on that play. I haven't seen a quarterback draw all year.
Yeah, and what's funny is we've ran what looks like putting it position. There's been several times where I've been saying to myself, "Oh, they're going to run a quarterback draw here," and then they don't, which I think is just crazy that they haven't done it yet. Unless they're setting it up for some time later, we still should have already unleashed it at some point.
That was the time. We had just threw another interception. They had got the momentum. They tied the score 14-14.
Yep.
We got a ball down the field. We got a pass interference in the end zone, so they put us on the 2. We got 8 seconds left in the timeout. We already know what's the kid name? Salter. He's not he's limited. He can't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to put him in certain situations where quarterback draw. If you don't get a timeout, we're not gonna put the ball in the air for you to throw an interception right now, because that was demolishing and heartbreaking, bro.
Yeah. No, for
That was
sure.
heartbreaking. And how you feel about McKinney? They tell me he's a first round pick, but I haven't really seen it.
I mean, he was a projected before the season. He has not played like it. He's not played like it, and that's just fact.
I didn't see it last year either. I just thought I missed it.
He had points in his game where he looked good. I don't think they were saying last season he was a first round talent. I think the point was that they were assuming with, every year you should take a step forward. And with the step forward and with him being the number one guy here, they should see that step forward. I mean, again, a lot of the stuff that you see with projections and all that, that's based on, what you see eye-wise. And it's like, okay, I think this could happen if he steps up and does this, this, and this. And the fact is, he didn't do that. He's taken a step back, which can happen. It happens to every player. But yeah, right now he is definitely not a first-round talent. If anything, if it's a draft talent at all.
We really miss R.J. Johnson, because I've seen he was nice. He was really nice. I had seen him earlier in the year, and I knew he was good, but I didn't know we were gonna miss him that much.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're missing a few guys. I mean, I do. We'll talk about it. Everybody will talk about it. They'll always bring it up. I can't. There might not have been nothing we could do, but not Colton Hood leaving. I don't think helped this team. They thought that he was a lock to probably be one of the starters. I think they've been trying to chase that since then. So that doesn't help. Whatever happened with that. I said it going into the season. The two positions that we were thin at that were going to cause problems on the defense was linebacker and DBs, and sure enough, that's where we're struggling, is linebacker and DB.
Yeah, once they post Nakai Hill-Green, Isaiah Augustus, and Colton Hood, I know there was some good players. I know they paid them some money, so I wasn't too mad.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't do.
Yeah, I understood. But I feel like we still have a good team. I don't know what we're going to do at quarterback this week. I do want to see the kids, but I know Coach don't want to just demolish the Salter. But I wish we get the ball to Sincere more. He only had one catch again last week.
The problem with Sincere that I'm just noticing more and more, I mean, he's just more of a straight line guy. Route running is just not where it needs to be.
Okay.
And I think that's causing some issues. He just has one kind of mode, which is just a go route. And I think that's causing some issues on the team. Not saying like in a mental way. I just mean like it makes it easier on teams to kind of key into that and watch what he's doing. And we're not really, slinging the ball deep. So not utilizing that either. So that's kind of the problem with Sincere. It's unfortunate. He has the speed, he has the talent, doesn't have the route running ability, and struggling with that part of the game. And that's just kind of why he's kind of been a little bit quiet.
I've seen some tape on him. I watched tape on Salter and him before the season. I seen him have some run after the catch.
Yeah.
And then I seen Salter with the throwing wasn't as good as I would like. But I still think we got everything we need. It's just
we do
gotta clean up the good stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know about the quarterback. No.
Yeah, I agree with that. We do. We're a better. The record is kind of, people will throw out 2-4 and say we're terrible and not pay attention or look at a box score. The fact is we've been in almost every game. And we're literally a couple decisions away from this being completely flipped around. The talent is there. And to anybody out that wants to say that a bunch of people are going to decommit from Colorado, they can see it too. They can see that the talent is there and that the talent is going to continue to be there. And that, we're just missing in some places, which they could be the piece to fix that and be on top of the world. And they see what happens when you're on top of the world at Colorado.
And nobody expects our quarterback to live up to Zadora. That ain't what we expect, but we expect you to be competent and just play your game. Nobody's going to be Zadora. We already know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bro. I'll talk to you next week, too.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Kevin, your comment a little bit earlier, like, oh, so the line was bad. I said the pass blocking is good. The run blocking is actually not that good. Okay? They miss guys on options. They take the read guy on options when they shouldn't. They're missing blocks when it comes to the running. The fact that our running backs, by the way, are getting as many yards as they are on average is more a testament to how good our running backs are than the offensive line. When it comes to run blocking, there's two sides of that. But pass blocking, they are absolutely excellent. Okay? They are absolutely excellent when it comes to that. Just straight one-on-one. Just straight one-on-one. They are absolutely excellent. Sure, could teams blitz more and potentially allow Salter to run? Yes. And yes, when Juju gets in there, they're gonna blitz more. We'll have to see how the line does. But I've seen several times this season where there has been stunts and different blitzes, and the offensive line has picked it up quite nicely to be able to give the quarterback enough time. So that's why I say Juju would be fine. When Juju was in against Delaware, the run wasn't doing great. And so they had to come off the field so quickly, and he never got the chance to get in a rhythm because it was 2 drives. Over the course of a game, it might be different. Over the course of the game, it's going to be different because he'll have more chances to do that. He'll have more chances to do that. We do run very well. And again, I think that's more of a testament, more than anything, to our running backs. Does our line do enough? Yes. Could they be better? Yes. We are this close to having been an absolute insane running team if the line was just that much better at run blocking and if our receivers could also block. Because whenever we get outside the pocket when it comes to running, whenever we run out the outside, the receivers are so bad at blocking that it doesn't allow us to do those runs very well. And it's why, we're gaining almost 6 yards a carry from most of our backs, guys. So it's a big difference. It's a big difference. Correct, Darren. Are we getting back into the whole portal thing? Because again, you live or die by the portal. Northside said it. You live or die by the portal. Okay? This year we died. But guess what, guys? In this day and age of college football, normally what would happen prior to the transfer portal, if Colorado had a season like they are having, they would be done for years. It would take multiple years to come back and be a good team if they were bad. What we are seeing in college football right now is teams are going year to year and seeing complete turnarounds in a single year with the same coaching staff. So it's not a case of, the team is changing coaching staffs and that's why they're succeeding all of a sudden. No, it's because you live or die by the portal. You either have a good portal season, which I would say arguably last year we had a good portal season and we went 9-3, guys. We had a good portal season. We went 9-3. This year we had an average portal season. I will give that an average because I will say the offensive line that we grabbed is a lot better than what we've had the last 2 years. And that came mostly from the portal plus Jordan Seaton. Look, the rest of the line is all portal ads. Okay? Running backs who are succeeding, portal ads. So there's some average things. We sucked at linebacker portal and we sucked at DB portal. And defense is hurt because of it. Is not doing well because of it. So we'll do that there. Okay? Every team in college football adjusts to running quarterbacks except Colorado. Yeah, I'll give you that, Kevin. Yeah, buddy, we're not dead yet. Linebackers, DBs, cornerbacks struggling. Yeah, that's our problem on defense. Right there in a nutshell. That is our problem. It is not the defensive line, by the way. The defensive line is finding ways to do things, including last week where I thought they had a very good game against, hold on one second. I need to adjust this real quick. Okay. So last week, I definitely thought that our defensive line did a heck of a job. We had 7 tackles for a loss, guys. 7 tackles for a loss. So there's that. Correct, buddy. Correct. We are better than our record shows. We are overall better than our record shows, but the record is what it is. We have to say that. We are a 2-4 team. That's just the way it is. We are a 2-4 team. That's just the way it is. Okay? Guys, hey, Taco Bell hotline still open. Let's go ahead and do our ad read. Of course, today's episode of Buffs News Weekly Live is presented to you by Taco Bell and the Chicken Canteen menu at Taco Bell. That's right. We are talking about the Chicken Cantina menu at Taco Bell. Make sure you guys go to our sponsors, Taco Bell. Get yourself some Taco Bell Chicken Cantina menu. It's launched a new era of chicken. It's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu debuts a new flavorful chicken that is slow roasted, perfectly seasoned with Mexican spices, including garlic, onions, a variety of chilies. Additional premium ingredients highlighted on the menu include shredded purple cabbage, white corn tortilla shells, freshly fried, and pico de gallo, freshly prepared daily. Woo! Try that amazing shredded chicken and crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, wrapped in a burrito with fresh cabbage, pico. It's delicious. I love the Chicken Cantina menu. And you'd be surprised. Check out the macros on them. They're actually pretty good, guys. Something you definitely want to check out. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell, and don't forget to add your $7 buff box located over there and one of your collectible cups at your local Taco Bell. So appreciate that as well. Plus, Taco Bell is a proud sponsor of CU Athletics, donating $1,000 to the Golden Buff Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored. Buffs love the bell, baby. Buffs love the bell. Appreciate Taco Bell for being a sponsor of Buffs News Weekly. We appreciate it so very much. There you go. We wasn't expecting that portal running back to even play. I don't know who we're talking about there. Appreciate you, buddy. CU paid Otis Ledger $1 million to do what? He on the bench. I believe actually the report is 500,000 north side, not $1 million. 500,000 is what I've heard. But he is one of our highest paid portal players. Two of those games we should have been we lost should have been ours. These 14-0 early CU scores be toasting me while watching the tables turn every time. Yeah, the two 14-0 games, we have no excuse. We should have won those games. We absolutely should have won those games. You go up 14-0 that early and you have all the momentum. You go up 21-0, the game's over. And we cannot do that. One of the highest paids. Yeah, and here's the problem. Guys, actually, when we really look at it, what Jaheim Otis has brought is he's just been kind of above average. But if you're going to be the highest paid player and the most important player that gets added to the team in the portal, you need to be better than above average. So I would agree with that. I don't think he's completely useless, but he is definitely not what we're paying him for as far as that goes. Guys, call in. I still have to get my fan take of the week. I'm still waiting for my fan take of the week. Call in. You have a chance to win a t-shirt courtesy of Taco Bell. Please call in and let me know your guys' thoughts. What needs to happen? What's going on? You guys can call in and do that this week. Please do that. But there we go. So, let's see what else you guys have to say right now going on. We'll go back through some of these comments. Juju was sacked once and scrambled for 1 yard in 6 pass attempts. I don't know about that. Because they got 1 first down on 2 drives. So what? That's for 12 plays. So you're saying that half of them were passing plays? I could have sworn we ran twice to start both drives. I'll have to go back and watch. But yeah, feel free, call in. By the way, guys, a little bit of housekeeping, of course, tonight. Tonight we are 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Buff Blitz with David Talks Buffs. We will be discussing, of course, Iowa State now. We're moving on to Iowa State after today's show. So make sure you guys join us tonight and that you are a part of the live show. We have a ton of fun doing it. We really entertain. We enjoy ourselves during that time. So make sure you guys are there. You have to remember, Northside CU don't have the big money bag. Team spending millions for top players all the time, like Oregon that has unlimited Nike credit card. $500 crazy for a bench player. We could have gotten a couple 4 or 3-star for $500K. Getting paid that amount, and he's a stud. I mean, the fact is we chose the wrong guy. It happens, guys. Nothing is perfect. If this world was perfect, CU would win a national championship every year and things would be great and we would never miss on a player. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Darren going with the announcement saying that we're going to run the table. Saying that we're going to run the table. I like the optimism there, Darren. I really do like the optimism there. Okay. No. Maybe second string players, etc. Yep, but we missed on damn near every player. All these players are bums except literally a handful. Gualo, I would say we hit on, I'd say 40% of the guys we tried to grab out of the portal this year. I mean, think about it, guys. Xavier Hill hit. Zarian McGill hit. Zy Chrysler hit. Okay. Larry Johnson, not the greatest, but still he's starting, he's playing. He's there. Running backs, DeKalon Taylor hit. Simeon Price hit. On the defensive side, we can go on the defensive side and see, did we get any hits? Tafik Bayard hit. So when you look at it, I would not say that it was literally a handful. I would say about 40% were hits, but we need probably to be in the 60 to 70% hit range to say that we're going to compete for the season right now. Oh, and special teams. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. We can add in Buck Buchanan, hit. Damon Greaves, hit. So I can keep going and add that. JoJo Sincere, hi to McGill is okay. DT, Price, Tafik. I mean, Zarian McGill actually, Gualo is grading out as one of the best interior offensive linemen right now in the conference. Just to F Will. Just a point there. I know Price wasn't expected to play, and yet he has played amazing when he did play. Mind you, by the way, guys, I don't know if you noticed this in today's well-off video, but Price and DeKalon Taylor have been in the front row of meetings in a boot. DeKalon Taylor's still in a boot, tells me he's not playing. Price was not there in a boot. He was not in the front row, meaning he's back with the running back room, I assume. So we could be seeing maybe some positive news on the Price front, which would be great, although Dallin Hayden played absolutely amazing last week. Dallin Hayden played absolutely amazing. No team has been more talented than CU. If CU had an average quarterback, they'd be 6-0. Yep. Special teams ain't winning y'all games, though. Nope, but they'll lose you games, and they're not losing us games. So there. Hey, guys, we can't be too harsh on the recruiting team for getting average transfer portal players, but look at the young freshman talent we got. They're all looking good out there. Exactly, Coach Barry. And not to mention, can we add in the fact that, yes, Coach Prime was away from the team? I think that is hitting this team a lot worse, and we need to really understand that Coach Prime having his health scare probably put the team behind when it comes to culture, adding players, all of that stuff. Just throwing that out there. Nope, we're not the only one missing. And teams will miss and hit every year. Christian Hudson was balling a TCU game for 500 cows. We could have got 3 of him. I mean, you got to find them. They're not all available Northside. But I agree. Trust me. The fact is, we missed, guys. We can keep harping on it till the cows come home. We missed. We missed. Well, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to give away a t-shirt tonight on Buff Blitz. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have to give away the t-shirt on Buff Blitz tonight. So make sure you guys are in the chat unless, we got one more phone call. Maybe this is the one, guys. Maybe this is the one. Let's go ahead and get the next caller. Thanks for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ, it's Colton.
Hey, Colton. Appreciate you calling back in. How's it going?
What's going on? Well, yeah, it could be better.
I get it. What do you have to say about everything?
Yeah, I'm late to the show, so I don't know if people have been started to jump on the fire Pat Schumer train again.
Well, we never left.
But
We never truly left.
haven't.
We never left.
Okay, cool. That makes me happy to hear. But we just don't know how to use Salter, and he's made a lot of mistakes. And
golly, it's just hard to watch, man.
It is rough. And here's the thing, Colton. I'm on the fire Pat Shurmur train, but I don't think it's going to happen, mostly because Pat Shurmur's contract is up after the end of this year. And I think that just the connection that he has with Prime and how long they've been together now coaching, I could see Coach Prime doing something nice to kind of, sunset him rather than make it a public thing that he was fired or anything like that. So best case scenario, somebody is doing some play calling behind the scene. Worst case scenario, they stick with him till the end of the season and just let him leave. But I do think that Pat Shurmur will not be a coach on this team going forward into next season, which I'm happy about. I would love our team to actually go get somebody, that is a college football OC, that, is going to bring a little bit more creativity. I would love to see a true college coach do that. As we've seen this year, there's been so many OCs that have taken over for teams and just made a huge difference. So I hope that Colorado does that. I hope we go after a head coach that gets fired, that is just a good OC that has that experience in college, that maybe was not a good head coach, but could be a great OC. I think that'd be a great get for Colorado, but I think that's going to happen at some point soon.
Is the him not making the direct play calls anymore? Is that confirmed?
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it'll ever will be. I think best case scenario it's happening on behind the scenes, quietly. I don't think that's ever going to be announced is my point, especially with it being Shurmur's last year and the relationship he has with Prime. It's going to be a little bit different than what happened with Lewis, where it was pretty much public that he was, had the play calling taken away, unless it leaks, which, we've started to see this team does have some leak problems. But I think it'll be a quiet change if it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, we can just go back onto it. I don't think we've won a single game where we've outcoached the opponent.
Oh, yeah. No.
And when we lose these close games, it can be argued that, I guess maybe last year our defense was outstanding and, this year it sounds good, but, without as much talent as we have. And golly, we played zone for the first half against flipping TCU. And that was awesome.
Yeah, we've played more zone. It's working. Like I said, defense was not the reason we lost to TCU, no matter what anyone says.
No.
That was not the reason. Yeah, they gave up 35 points, and it was the most points they've given up all season, but that does not tell you the actual, what happened in the game. We had the most tackles for losses of any game this season. We held TCU to 94 yards, even though they're terrible at running. We had several sacks on TCU's quarterback, Josh Hoover, which is not easy to get because he can run the ball, as we saw. So a lot of things went well for the defense. The offense did not help them out. The offense did not help them out. 4 turnovers is not going to help any defense out. I don't care who you are. 4 turnovers means you should lose that game handedly, and we lost the game really, truly only by 7 points, even though it was 14 points. Because, again, the last touchdown kind of in trash time. The game was over at that point. They were just going for a first down, but still were able to hit that big, long play for a touchdown. So, yeah, I do agree on that. I do.
I mean, it's college ball. I mean, it's expected that most games are going to be pretty flipping high scoring unless it's, 2 outstanding, programs. So it doesn't bother me necessarily that even if we did lose by flipping 15, that wouldn't have killed me as much as just the inability of our offense to turn out. Because, again, it's college football. It's assumed that if you're not in the top 10 teams, you're probably not going to have an outstanding defense.
That's true.
I mean, that's my argument. I could be totally wrong, but it's just...
I would say you're pretty spot on. You're going to be one of the top teams in the country if you have a very good defense. I mean, look at Iowa as a football program. They have always been known as a defense-only team. Now, they have not been able to compete for a national championship because they don't have an offense. You need both to win the whole thing, but having a very good defense can make up for a lot of things on a team, and we do not have that right now to make up for the offense. And unfortunately, going hand in hand, that's why we're 2-4, is because the defense hasn't been amazing and the offense hasn't been good, leading us to where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, if we had this defense last year, we wouldn't have been 9-4, and I think that's safe to say.
Oh, yeah.
And again, flipping, golly, just real don't like Pat Shurmur. And I feel bad because it's like, to an extent, I mean, he's a human being. We can't hate on him too much, all this other stuff. But gosh darn it, when he's dragging everyone else down around him, it's difficult.
It is.
Really annoyed at the guy.
It is. Well, and there's definitely, like I said, there's something going on behind the scenes that we do not know. When your quarterback does not have a captain designation and the coach is constantly calling out leadership, and even the players are calling out leadership, which I've mentioned before, when people are like, Caden Salter's this really great quarterback. I don't care if he's the greatest quarterback in the world. Your quarterback should be a leader on the team. And if he's not a leader, that's a big, big problem. And I think that's one of the biggest issues Colorado has faced this year. And I think that'll be solved because I do think Julian Lewis has been a leader his whole life. I think he's ready to take on those reins. The question is, when is he going to officially become the leader of this team moving forward? And I do think that whenever we do move to him, whether it's this season, whether it's this week, whether it's next season, he is the starting quarterback and he is the guy, and that is not going to change. There's not going to be any competition. It's just going to be like Shador was, where you are the guy and that's final because you're a leader and we're going to live or die by what you do.
Yeah, you just hope that flipping by the time we get there that we haven't shot ourselves in the foot 10 different ways, that we can't get the guys through the portal and we don't get, a solid recruits. That's what I'm nervous about. It's like, yeah, I'm stoked for next year in Juju and, hoping that he comes out to be, Shador, 2.0, so to speak. But I don't want it to be another rebuilding year where it downgrades, where it's, oh, great, now we have an outstanding quarterback, but we don't have the dogs on the defense this year, and it's going to be another rebuilding year.
I think we'll be okay with Julian. I think you look at the young quarterbacks in college football, right, that were able to bring players along with them. You look at DJ Lagway and what he did last year at Florida. Even though Florida struggled, didn't play well, they got guys, they got people in. Look at Texas. Obviously, it's Texas. I get it. It has the background. But, the Arch Manning hype was there. Juju is very similar to that with a lot of the guys out there. I hope to God that Juju is not Arch Manning when it comes down to it. But the fact is that Texas got a lot of guys to come play with Arch Manning. And you see that across the board. When good quarterbacks show up and do just enough, players will come. Players will follow. Players will do that. And because of the attention that Colorado gets, I still think we're going to be fine. Even if we lose a bunch of games, even if we even if we win 3 or 4 games total this whole year, I don't think we're going to lose a lot of recruits. I think we're still going to see a lot because I do think that the Julian Lewis optimism is there, at least for next season at a minimum.
Yeah, but do we trust that our coordinator is going to make the right decisions?
I don't think
Juju a bad start.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think you have to worry about that. I don't think Shermer's the coordinator next year. I don't think he's the coordinator.
Well, yeah, next year, but this year to get him warmed up.
I think he can do enough. I think it's not going to be pretty. I think what the point is, you're going to see flashes. People can understand when they see a player play and they're just like, that guy's got it. Okay. Play calling aside, he has the ability. There's plenty of times you see it in the NFL too, where quarterbacks, you're like, that quarterback has talent. There's something else that's happening there. Look at like Baker Mayfield. What happened in Cleveland? You saw flashes.
Oh, yeah, I don't watch NFL.
Okay, but Baker Mayfield had flashes of what he could do. He got ran out of Cleveland. They wanted to blame him. Now he's in Tampa, and he's playing quite well. He's a pretty darn good quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's good enough, and that's on the coaching. It happens. So I think people can see Juju go out there. I think he can make some plays. You look at the one drive the 2 drives that he had this season. The throw that he had to Quentin Gibson, rolling out, throwing it on a dime. It looked really good as a freshman. Those are the plays you're like, okay, I can see the talent. Now let's see what we can get around him and what we can do to unleash that talent. I think it'll still happen. I don't think you have to worry too much about that yet.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it, man. I'm going to keep stressing.
Well, you do that. Stress if you need to, but, there are brighter days ahead. There's brighter days ahead.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I got the shirt. It's pretty sick.
Okay. Which player did you
thanks,
get?
Man.
Which player did you get?
Quentin Gibson?
Oh, you got one of the Quentin Gibson. I haven't even seen the Quentin Gibson shirt. So that's pretty cool.
Let me verify.
Yeah, I'm sure you did get it. If you think you got a Quentin Gibson.
No, it is. Yeah.
Quentin Gibson shirt. Sick. Well, I appreciate it, Colton. Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you watching the show. And we will talk to you later on.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye. So, Colton with the Quentin Gibson shirt. I can't give Colton another shirt. So, if somebody else wants to call in and have a chance to win one of these shirts, feel free. Do it. Do it. Hopefully you guys got that reference. Coach Barry, again, thank you so much. Prime needs to visit Greece, buy some Pure Evo. First cold press from the elevated farms that'll assist in preventing blood clots. Here's the one thing I worry about, and I said this when Coach Prime first came to Colorado. Altitude causes blood clots, guys. And I really hope that at some point they don't tell him, hey, it's bad that you're at altitude. You need to go back to sea level, and that would end his coaching career. I'm just throwing that out there. It is something that's there. It is something that's there. I would have to go to Greece to get another badge because I got it through a Canadian friend, but I have the address and have to go there and get some more. Well, Coach Barry, take a trip to Greece for us. There you go. See, Northside, what are we talking about? Are we talking about portal talent or are we talking about high school recruits? Because the high school recruits are balling. Alex McPherson, London Merritt, Julian Lewis. I would say you're going to not be perfect, okay? It's not going to be perfect. Again, 33 million, and I don't think again. So your mom. So are you saying that Deion Sanders is an amazing coach, that he should be coaching in the SEC? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that Colorado is one of the best teams in the country, that Coach Prime should take this whole thing and go to an SEC school and it would be completely fine? Is that it? Okay. Your mom is saying Colorado has the best coaching staff in all of college football and should be in the SEC. There you go. There you go. I took teaspoon switches, helping friends, coworkers, assisting diabetes. Let's see what else you guys got. Yeah, Buddy's got it. Recruits can see what we're building. They absolutely can. They absolutely can. No, you just said it. You just did. Because why would an SEC school want Coach Prime? Yeah, the days of stockpiling talent is over. That's true. High school and portal. I get it. But we still hit on like 40% of our portal this year. We hit on a ton of portal last year. Okay, same staff, Northside, same staff. And then high school recruiting is actually doing very well right now if you look at our freshmen and sophomores. Our freshmen and sophomores are the people who are balling. So our high school recruiting is off the charts. To my expectation, I think we're doing pretty darn good in high school recruiting. But but Coach Prime should go to the SEC. An SEC school is going to want to knock down the door and pay $33 million just to get Coach Prime and his staff. That's what I was just told. See you, Buffs. It's all part of the job. It's all part of the job. Okay, guys. Hey, we're going to be back in an hour for the Buff Blitz. So I'm going to call it here. We're going to have to give out the shirt. So appreciate you guys so much for joining me today, having fun, hanging out. I'll see you guys in about an hour for the Buff Blitz. Until then, Sco Buffs, as always. I'll see you in an hour. Peace.